Hi everyone, welcome to YourPedia. We have with us Anubhi Khandelwal, and she is the founder of Terafac Technologies. Let us hear from her what Terafac Technologies does.
So hello everyone, thank you for having me here today, Kavita. Very nice to be here. So I'm the founder of Terafac Technologies, and the major vertical that we operate in, it's industrial automation and IoT. So we cater to industries also, directly providing solutions to them. But what we're doing here is we are setting up labs across different universities in India to enable students in smart manufacturing and in IoT and in industrial automation. So just a bit of a background about myself. I'm myself an automation engineer, and I was in UK working for Siemens as automation specialist. And there I came across a lot of new technologies which I thought that they should be brought back in India and our students should be taught about it. So I came back a couple of years, I started Terafac Technologies, and what we want is to enable students, youth across India and also current workers in the new technologies, as well as also train them in what actually exists, but give a bit more of hands-on training to them. So that's what we do with Awadh in IIT Ropar. We've set up a very small lab. So we have a very mini factory, a tabletop factory, which we will see inside in a bit, which has different elements of an industry. So it has sensors, it has controllers, and a lot more things which we'll see, and also collects data up to the cloud. Besides, we have also set up 6 different smaller stations which are to start the basic trainings of students. So we are currently running a workshop here. It's a residential hands-on training which is running here for students from across Punjab, Chandigarh and the entire north region. So maybe we can go inside and have a look.
Yeah, let's take a tour of her lab. Okay.
So maybe we can start here and then we can go further. So this is the mini factory which I was talking about. We are still in the installation process. We just started coming here 2 days ago. And I'll just explain what is here. So this is, when I say it's a mini factory, it's basically mimicking the processes that happen in a factory. Now one might say it could be one factory, but what about others? So the answer to that is the crux of all the factories is same. It has controllers, it has sensors, it has a sequence, then there's a lot of data that is generated and the data needs to be stored. And that's the crux of almost all factories. For smart manufacturing, we need smart sensors, we need a lot of data, we need data analysis, and then use that to have some sort of better improvements in the process. So what's happening here? It's very basic. Starting from basic, we have a conveyor belt, we have a pneumatic systems for pushers, then we have this robotic arm which is performing a pick and place operation. Now bear in mind, this is all 3D printed. Then we have, this is all 3D printed, we have motors that are controlled by that controller right at the back. So that is the entire control section of it. We are also that we have a couple more sensors here, that is RFID to collect the data from the product that is coming down the conveyor line. We also have a load cell which weighs the data. So let's imagine a process, and let's say it's an inventory control, a warehouse, an Amazon warehouse for instance. The data comes, a product comes here, and this is a box which is of certain color, of certain size or something. When it goes by this RFID sensor, the sensor reads the data about it and it stores it somewhere on the cloud. Then when it comes here, my robotic arm picks this data, picks this product, places it on the weighing module, and then it does the cross-check reference with the data that was collected here initially. If the data matches, it goes and gets stored in one of the racks. If it does not match, it gets rejected. And then all of the data is displayed here on cloud, on your phone, or anyone, so operator wants it somewhere else. All of that is all interconnected. Now the point is, we get to know, the students get to learn about various sensors, smart sensors, normal sensors. They also learn about the entire control side of things. They learn about how to make a robot, how you can 3D print it, and then how you can also assemble it together to make it a working robot. So it's if you think about it from an engineer point of view, it's mechanical, electrical, electronics, automation and CS all combined in one place. And this is what happens in real industries. Everything comes together. You don't work in silos. So this is where we are heading. Now the point of this is not touch me not. This is please use me, take me apart and bring it back. Most of the accessories that we have in our labs within India and abroad also, these are very high-end machines and motors that students are not allowed to touch. So you can see, but you cannot touch it, so you cannot actually work on it. This we say, please work on it. So you want to see how this works, you take it apart and you want to create something else. For instance, someone might think instead of having a 3-axis robot, I want to create a 6-axis robot or 5-axis robot. So you can 3D print it, put it on this, you can assemble it to the controller and start testing it. So this is where we give some sort of DIY and, you know, try and test yourself sort of feel. So this is sitting in this lab for students to use for learning, to learn all of these things. And we also have these smaller stations here to start with the basics, because we might talk all, you know, high-end things, AI, ML, IoT, everything, but everything comes down to basics where we have to learn what a controller is, how it's connected, what is networking, what is a motor, how is that connected, what are different sensors. So you could see that these are all different stations placed for students to do a bit of hands-on work, to understand everything, take a look and feel of it, and then we move on further to the smart sensors, to higher end things like, you know, robotics and IoT and all of that. So this is what's happening right now. We are going through this 15 days residential workshop here at IIT Ropar. Again, it's all hands-on. All the students are staying here at campus. And for 15 days, we are covering a whole range of topics. And let's see how this one goes. This is the first cohort, and we are planning to have the next one in July.
So what is the eligibility of the students to do workshop here like?
Actually, there is no eligibility as such.
Okay.
Anyone who wants to learn can actually come. So I would say anyone beyond 12th. If you've done 12th, you might be in your first year, your second year, that's okay. So we do have someone who's just completed first year. Then we have students from 3rd, 4th year as well. We have some people who have 10 years of experience also. Some of the people have gone for lunch. Okay. So they have 10 years of experience as well. So there's no range to it, but we do start with right from the basics. Okay. So if someone who does not understand what it is, doesn't matter, in first few days we cover the basics.
Okay. So even like I think these days the school students are also doing IoTs and all.
Yeah.
So can they also like purchase this from you or something like that, or just they come for training here?
So Terafac does not run training per se. We create these products that can be used by schools or universities to train their own students.
Okay.
But we do help and aid in training. So this one we are running here with the hope that it becomes an auto training thing in future. Now for schools, this is a bit of an industry grade product. We are using everything which is industry grade. It's a bit expensive as well. So we are planning to create something for schools also, a lower version of it. But ideally this is more useful for someone who has done their 12th and is for higher education.
Okay, okay. So anybody who is looking for trainings in automation can contact Anubhi, and they can have a training in this lab at IIT Ropar also. And thank you, Anubhi, for telling us about your lab, and that's okay.